live. I got the comments turned on. Let us know if you can hear us just fine. And make sure you submit any of your questions along the way. We are certainly glad you're here with us.
Absolutely. Welcome.
Heck yeah. So today's topic, guys, is dogs and donkeys. So Cooper's going to help us. So dogs are typically a threat to donkeys. And we've had it come up recently. So those last 8 that we got are going to be trained for the Forever Branded program. And then we'll find new adopters for them. We've had questions coming up that are they safe around dogs? Well, guys, right now we don't even have first touch on these.
Yeah, that is. I've been Facebook messaging several prospective adopters. We have a wait list on donkeys right now, actually, and that is by far the number one question I get: are they safe with my dogs? I've got an old dog. I don't want my old dog to get hurt if it goes in a pen. The brutal honesty is, like MaryJo just said, these are wild donkeys. Okay, they have had to stand their ground against coyotes and other predators because they're a fight or hide instinct versus a fight or flight. So, can a wild donkey tolerate dogs? Absolutely, but that's going to be. So we got a renegade. We have 2 dogs, female and a male. One's in heat, so the house gets kind of small. The other one's in heat. Cooper's going goofy. Okay, you're gonna have to, as the new donkey owner, you're going to have to introduce your dog to the donkey or donkeys through a fence on a leash. Do a lot of exposure with your dog to the donkeys. We don't want the first time your donkey sees your dog is when it's in the middle of a pen sniffing around, okay? They will defend their territory.
Now, I want to make an analogy on this. Calamity Jane is 2 years old, our yellow lab, and there's some videos of her with the dog playlist. Now, when Hannah got her puppy, brought him home, and he's 8 weeks old, right? So now when we introduce the dogs to the puppy, we don't do that unsupervised because you don't know what's going to happen. And guess what? Calamity Jane thought it was something to be put out of its misery. She acted like she was going to attack it, the puppy. Mm-hmm. And then Cooper is a stud dog, and so we wanted to be careful with him also. So Calamity acted like she was going to bite the puppy, and now they're best friends.
Yep.
So just like you introduce a puppy to your older dogs, the same thing is true for introducing your donkeys and your dogs.
Right, exactly. Very gradual, safe introductions. Your donkey doesn't have a natural grudge against dogs and wants to kill them, but since they do look like a predator, smell like a predator, walk like a predator, and are a predator shows up in a pen or a pasture, the donkey can get territorial and could injure your dog. So that is going to be, hopefully we're answering some questions on this. Are wild donkeys that we adopt out dog friendly?
Not yet.
Not yet. That's going to that has to be on the owner of the new donkeys, because it just do not let a dog go into the pen with your new donkey. It can happen, and it will happen. You just got to make the investment of time to make sure everything's fun and safe and secure.
Now, with that being said, guys, when I introduced Seamus, famous Seamus, to the dogs, we had a dog who behaved, and in order to get Seamus the conditioning that he needed, I walked the dog and Seamus together. So Seamus knew how to lead at this point, and the dog knew how to walk on a leash. So then the 3 of us would just go hiking around all over the place. And under a controlled environment, Seamus was able to learn how to be around the dog and that the dog was not a threat to him. Mm-hmm. Now, when we started bringing home in wilds, this same dog, his name was Rec, this same dog was old man, and he would fall over if he went up a hill. He was just really old, ancient. Now, we were extra careful with him at that point, even though he knew how to be around equine, because he was no longer quick enough to move out of the way if he needed to.
Right.
And then when we got Calamity Jane, she was a puppy. She has no sense for equine yet.
None.
And so we're extra careful with her. Now, I have walked Calamity Jane with Seamus, and once we got out in the woods, that I took her off her leash so she could run around. And she had the zoomies going right past Seamus's feet.
Yep.
Now, thankfully, Seamus does not care. But
Right.
I'm watching, I'm aware that he might. Now, if you are nervous about your dog or your donkey, I don't think there's anything wrong with having two people involved, one person to handle the dog and one person to handle the donkey.
Yep. Just introduce them. Introduce them in a very controlled, safe environment.
And I wouldn't have them off leash right away by any means.
No, like for instance, you'll get there. All of our forever donkeys are dog friendly. Oh my God.
That doesn't mean our dog can hang out in the pasture
Yeah,
with
we
them.
don't let the dog hang out in the pasture. So just be very careful and mindful, and don't assume that a little sugar cubes is just because it loves you. It might not love your dog unless you make proper introductions and make sure the donkey is secure and happy. And
Now, with that being said, the people who bought Valhalla and Grace from us, they just live, I say down the road, it's like 20 minutes away or whatever. And she has her entire property fenced off, and she has goats and dogs, and she has work dogs. And I don't remember how many dogs she has, but she has a lot of dogs. One of them is not allowed to be around the dogs. I'm working with my Rottweiler, with my donkey now, just started. Good. That's super, super good.
great, that's good. Good job.
So-
Good job on that.
She is able to have her dogs out. They walk underneath the donkeys. The donkeys don't care. But she has one dog that is just not calm enough to do that. So if your dog is going to be jumping up at the donkeys or something, you're asking for trouble. Hugo, Oklahoma, welcome. Just found your podcast, listening and liking. Whoops, I'm trying to get, I did that before. There we go. Liking what I hear. Very interested in mules and donkeys. Awesome. Welcome to the channel.
Hello, Oklahoma. Thanks for stopping by.
So she has all of her dogs, and she sent me videos, and I've been over there with them also. The dogs, the goats, they're like right underneath the donkeys, and the donkeys could care less. But that one that's a little bit too rambunctious, she keeps tied up so that it's not going to bother the donkeys.
Yep.
So it's not just the donkey that has to be conditioned to the dog. The dog also needs to be taught how to be around a donkey.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone trail riding with my aunt, and her new, I think it's her new dog, her old dog. So all of us, our dogs are getting old. So her old dog knew how to be riding with equine, but her new dog is not so smart about it. And so then, like, even if you're riding or you're packing and your dogs are running around behind their legs or behind their back end, we have to be watching out. We have to be an ambassador for our dog and for our donkey, both.
Yep.
Now, I was at a training lesson one time, so I'm taking a lesson from a pretty capable high up. He's like reigning, super, way more capable.
He's a
than
guru.
me. Yeah, he's a guru.
Yeah.
And what he said he does, and this is something I'd never heard before, when he has a puppy and he's introducing his dogs to the horses, because he doesn't do donkeys, but now he does because of me. He kicks his dog when it's underneath the horse, because when it's a puppy, because then the dog thinks that the horse did it, and now he has a new respect for the equine.
Man, that sounds brutal, but I think that's probably a good idea.
It does sound brutal.
I doubt he's kicking it like a soccer ball. It's probably
No.
just a little nudge with the foot. But
Right, but to make it a little bit uncomfortable, and now the dog thinks that the horse did it, and now he's like, oh, I should be careful around that horse. Like, it's something I had never thought of. I've never done it. Will I? Maybe. I don't know.
We might.
Like, a kick from me that's controlled would be way better than a kick from my horse or my donkey that could kill them.
Yep. In the name of training, I approve of that.
Yeah, and it's so weird for me to think, because we don't train our dogs like that. We don't kick our dogs, right? We don't hit our dogs. We don't kick them. But maybe I should think about kicking my dog. I don't know.
Well, I guess in that circumstance, that's probably the best way to get his attention. I don't know. If anyone out there's done that or has an opinion, please share it. But yeah, that would be the lesser of two evils for sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we do introduce the wild donkeys to the dogs, it starts off through a fence. So we will bring Calamity out back and throw the ball for her, where she's racing up to the fence and the donkeys are there. And when we bring the donkeys into that pasture, sometimes their first reaction is, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to come stomp you. We're in danger. We're under attack."
Yeah, and to add more to that, that particular pasture, it borders our lawn, and the fence is the 50-inch tall cattle panel, so the dog and the donkeys can't get to each other, and we use this big ball for Calamity.
So it can't go through the
And
holes.
it bounces off the fence, and she runs down there sliding and grabs the ball. She's up against the fence, and yeah, the first time I do that, when there's a new donkey out there, the snorting and stomping and running at the dog, I mean, it's pretty. I wouldn't want to see what would happen if there was some fence there. That donkey does not look like it's messing around.
Not at all.
And then eventually the newness wears off, and occasionally they'll run along the fence to sniff the dog, and you can see the fear level coming down on a donkey and the curiosity kicking in.
And then eventually, after that curiosity kicks in and they maybe sniff noses a little bit, the next thing is the donkeys start to ignore the dog. Even if the ball hits the fence right next to them, they don't move. They don't care that she's running towards them.
Right.
Which is really nice, because when I took Calamity and Seamus on a walk, and then Calamity got to be off leash and she had the zoomies running past Seamus, running right past his back legs, Seamus didn't care because he's used to seeing it. Banjo says, I give a small kick. Oh, when my dog's, I'm trying to see this. Okay. When my dog's attention is on the donkey or the donkey stomps at him, the kick isn't, and it doesn't need to be hard, in my opinion. The dog knows the intent. See, now,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
cool to see other
Thank
people
you.
do
Yeah,
that.
Great.
Something we have never even considered doing until I heard it from, we have a friend who just lost their dog, a puppy, because it got
That's
kicked
right.
by their mule. Like, these things happen. We have to be ambassador for both the dogs and the donkeys.
Yep. And like down at below, our home is up on a hill. Down below is the barn and training facility with a bazillion donkeys and pens, and we just don't bring dogs down there.
We used to bring Rec down there when he was an old man.
He's an old man because he would just tie him to a hitch rail away from the pens, and he'd just go to sleep. But now, as of late, there's usually a whole bunch of freshly wild donkeys down there, and that's just one more distraction that we don't want to deal with when we're gentling and working on things like first touch.
And that's something to think about, the distraction. With these wilds, like when we're getting first touch, if there's anything happening on the property that they think they need to be paying attention to, that is like, it's trigger stacking.
It really is.
Having a dog down there when they're really nervous is triggering feelings for them.
You see things. You see them, that trigger stacking. It can be a strange car parked a quarter mile away, the flag up on a mailbox. I mean, it can be some subtle little thing that wasn't like that the previous 5 days. Now it's different. It will distract them a little bit.
Now, the other things that we're going to talk about, and I want to ask, because I'm going to go off on a little side veer here. I just went to help somebody with their donkey, their first trim. And she's pretty nervous about the feet. We spent 3 hours to trim 2 feet. Okay, and that's kind of what I expected, okay, because he hasn't been picking up his feet yet. Now, I gave her instructions on what to do, and then I'm going to come back later on and help her with her back feet. But she's really afraid of the back feet. Now, I used to be too, and I'm curious how many people out there would like us to do a go live just about the feet. Because people are often afraid. I used to be afraid. I feel confident that I know what to watch for, and I can read their feelings from their very slight, and it really is slight cues that they give us. So let us know in the comments if that's something you would like to see as we're planning out the rest of our go lives.
We're gonna bring a donkey in the house and do a live of a donkey in the house.
You guys still want us to bring Seamus in? Do you think we could do it without him falling through the floor?
I don't know.
Yes.
Probably not. I don't know.
Well, I could get him in here as long as the floor is safe.
Would you go through your office or through the front door?
I could go through either one. Yeah, I could go through either one.
Yeah, I'd just go through the front door.
So he's got to go up a handful of stairs. Banjo wants us to bring Seamus in the house.
I would think we throw some OSB or some plywood down on the floor.
Oh, that would be nice to keep it from being slippery and from scratching
Or
up
we
our
could pull out the
floors.
trailer. We have to do it in a warm out. Pull out the mats from the trailer,
Oh, there you go.
hose them off, and then put them in here.
We have wood floors, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Banjo's laughing.
not fancy wood floors, but
No, they're
good
not.
enough.
Our house is a broken in half trailer house.
Literally, it is. It is. It was a mobile home. It is a mobile home that we purchased, and it was a double wide and broken in half, and you could look down a divider wall and see the highway.
Right? But it was cheap because it was broken in half.
Yep.
And Dan can fix anything.
It's not broken in half anymore.
No, yay. All right, so we're gonna have to plan this. I think it would be fun to bring Seamus in the house.
I think it would be hilarious. I think Seamus would love it.
Oh, he loves all attention.
Would you be able to get him out of here?
Well, he would want to know if he can use our bed. It's more comfy.
I think we put a blanket over the window behind us so he doesn't use that as an exit. Yeah.
We had a pet deer a long time ago, guys, and so, yes, Seamus in the house or going up the stairs before they go in the house is cool. That would be fun. So this
Yeah.
pet deer that we had, its mama was like hit by a car, and then we raised this deer. And once she was old enough to go in and out, she just came and went as she pleased. But before that happened,
was a house
jumped.
deer.
Yeah, she was. She used to sleep behind the toilet.
Yeah.
Anyways, she did break a window. 'cause she
Yeah,
got
we came
scared.
home. I think she was in the garage.
She was in the garage, so we gave her food. I actually don't know how to approach that with the donkey. Is it the same as a horse? 4 feet, I'm guessing you're talking about, Banjo. It's slower. It is so slow. And you have to watch for these super tiny little cues to help you know how they're feeling. So like when I went and helped this person today with their donkey's feet, it had like a big crack in it, and and I'm not a farrier, guys, but I know donkeys. So we spent 1 hour just preparing the 2 front feet to think about lifting them, and then probably another hour and a half to do one, and then probably a half hour to do the last foot, and then I'm gonna go back over there. How many acres is your ranch or farm?
It is. It's just 21 acres, and we are north of Billings, Montana, kind of between closer to Roundup than Billings. So we're about 35 miles north of Billings, about 12 miles south of Roundup, Montana.
You haven't actually announced this yet, but we're kind of planning out. I mean, we're not kind of. We are planning out to start having like a week-long, more like one-on-one. Where you
Yeah,
can come stay.
yeah.
We have a guest house, and when I say a guest house,
It's a bunkhouse.
it's really just a shed with beds and carpet and stuff in it. It's not fancy.
Yeah, it
Okay,
has
we're not
wire- it has li-
fancy.
yeah, yeah.
It has lights and a fan, and it has air conditioner and heater in there. But
Yeah, it's an idea we whipped up on our last trip to Utah together. And if some of you watching, give us your opinion on this idea. We haven't put a fee on it yet. It would probably be somewhere in that affordable, yeah, but it's got to be worth it for MaryJo and I as well. To come and stay at the ranch, at a bunkhouse next to the pen with your donkey that you either bring with you, or you could adopt one off the ranch here, and then we spend a week, a Monday through Friday, working with you, one-on-one, or possibly two-on-one, depending on how many people are there. So MaryJo has a day job. I'm available during the day, to get you up to speed and confident with the donkey you already own or one that you just adopted. And then, it's a very beautiful setting. There is a highway, there's some highway noise, but we'd set you up so you're looking at just a beautiful countryside. There is a town 12 miles away, if you want to go in and get dinner or get away from us or something like that. But that's an idea we thought about, having a donkey orientation camp.
yeah, so we are like, in order to do all this stuff, we created a 501c3 nonprofit. So it's Famous Seamus Farm, and this would be like under Famous Seamus Farm. So that would be like just trying to get this up and going more, and still offering something like way cool for you guys that helps you really truly understand your donkey, because they are so much different. We got some really neat compliments lately. We had brought home Dr. Frankenstein. Doc was the doctor, and now he's a Bureau Burro. And the brand
tell him
inspector was
Doc.
over
That
there,
was
and
great.
the brand inspector was like, I've been around other wild donkeys, but none as like totally calm as him. The question was the feet. My daughter, Hadley Rhea, asked how long does it take to train a donkey to ride? Boza Barker is around 4 years old, as best we know, with some training in the past. So 4 years old is about the perfect time to start training them.
Yeah.
We're going to start saddle breaking any of ours in the future now when they're between 4 and 5 years old. Normally they're born in the summertime. So how long does it take?
You know, I'll give my opinion.
All right.
If it's a donkey that trusts you, and will let you put a saddle on and let you lean over it, they're pretty easy to teach to ride. I mean, it's probably easier than teaching them to stand. It's probably less time than trimming feet for the first time.
I
And when I say ride, I'm not saying you're going to go get a ribbon at the county fair running
I
barrels,
do.
but to get on old sugar cubes and go plod across the yard the wrong direction, that doesn't really take that long if you take your time.
And if you want a ribbon, just go to Mule Days because there's not a lot of competition.
Yeah, bring your donkey to Mule Days. You're gonna get a ribbon because you might be the only one or
Right.
two people
It's
there.
helpful.
Yeah.
It's the best way. It's the only ribbons I ever get is on the donkeys. I can't compete on a horse. There's too many good people. Now, teaching your donkey to steer, I think that's where a lot of people have the most trouble. And so then again, it's offering them a good deal and then going really slow. And
Yeah.
we could do more go lives on that. We're still trying to figure out how to get service at the barn. So then we could do more in saddle stuff. But
Riding the donkey question. Something that has helped my donkey honk. I ride a mammoth Jenny donkey. She's huge. And she came to us halter broke, but that was it. Whenever we do groundwork, flag work, I call it the Jedi voodoo stuff that she does. She's very organized, type A. I'm not.
he's Gucci Gucci.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Fun. She's Mrs. Rules. The groundwork, just clearing the fronts, rolling the hinds, all that groundwork. Whenever because she does it way better than I do. I mean, I try and I turn it all thumbs and I trip over the rope and it just does. She does it really good. After she works with honk for me, it's like putting power steering fluid in. She gets handier and handier every time there's a groundwork session with her. So if for those of you who are planning on riding your donkey, lots of groundwork. If you get them to,
What forms of reinforcement do you suggest for donkeys? Reinforcement is offering them a good deal. So, okay, so I'm gonna ask. Well, I'm gonna start with it on the ground. Okay, so I'm gonna ask her to flex because we need to steer, and that's where it starts. So I'm gonna ask her to flex, and that's just turning her head just a tad. So I'm gonna offer her a good deal. So the good deal is sliding my hand down the rope, so she knows I'm gonna ask a question, and then it's like the second hand on a clock, right? I'm gonna pull and slack until she turns where I need her to turn. But I always have to offer her a good deal. And then, are you trying to see the notes again?
yeah, they're that last question.
What forms of reinforcement?
I'll answer that one in a minute.
And then the other thing is timing. So I was doing the Ty Evans clinic with Honk the Donk for Dan to try to get her steering better because she's kind of stiff. And then I was rolling the hinds with her, and I'm like, Ty, I feel like, so Ty Evans, you guys can check him out, TS Mules, he's awesome, he's my mentor, and I'm doing his masterclass. So I'm like, I'm trying to do this, roll the hinds with her. I mean, we can do it, but it kind of felt like we were a robot. And he's like, well, MaryJo, you just need to have your timing. You need to ask for her to move that foot when that foot is already up. So if Dan was taking a step with his right foot, I could pull him towards the right really easily, right? But if his right foot is down and I try to pull him towards me, well, then it's going to be like trying to move a pillar. He's not going to move. And it's the same with the donkey. So like when I'm asking them to disengage, if we're kind of going in a circle and she brings this foot up already, well, now I can easily ask her to set her foot over here. And once I got my timing good with somebody, it was Ty watching me, well, then I felt like we were a ballerina. And if you guys have seen Honk the Donk on the channel.
She's not a ballerina. She's 1,200 pounds of ears. What kind of reinforcement do we use with donkeys? We use positive reinforcement. A training method that we employ is kind of, I call it R plus-ish. We're not the creators of R plus, but we do follow it. Gentling, we use grain as a positive reinforcement for the right action. Later on, you'll just give them a break. Don't ask them for anything,
I wouldn't call it R plus once we're saddle training.
right?
Because R plus is kind of like helping them. Well, you still, I would not call it R plus once we're saddle training.
No, but gentling.
Gentling is R
For
plus.
gentling, yeah. Yep.
So we're building trust. So this is how I say it so I can try to remember. First, we need connection, and then we're going to ask for cooperation. And when we're asking for cooperation, we're going to make it easy for them to say yes by asking for them to move that foot when it's already up. Okay. Now, let's go back to the dogs a little bit. We have brought multiple different dogs, or pardon me, we bought multiple different donkeys to different events, right? And I had heard before, you got to be careful because your donkey's just going to attack any dog it ever sees. I'm like, really? Like, do I need to be afraid to bring this donkey to this event where there's dogs running around? Is my donkey going to come out from underneath me trying to attack this dog? I can tell you guys from my own experience that has not happened.
No,
Okay.
no. You know what? In the psychology of things, you go to the fairgrounds for an event or something, and there's dogs there. Well, the dogs are probably already there when you got there, and so the donkey thinks the dogs belong there. The concern I have with your family pet and newly gentled wild donkeys is the first time a dog was running into the pen. That's where some concern would come in.
And that happened to Cooper, guys. So Cooper is a 10-year-old dog. He was given to us, and he's a stud dog with papers, so he's going to give us little Calamity babies and Cooper babies. But he had selective hearing when he got here, and he wasn't bonded up with us, and he was sniffing everything at his new home. He went right into the pasture, and guess what? A wild donkey kicked him. And these wild donkeys that kicked him were very gentle and mild donkeys. Like they were awesome. They are awesome donkeys, some of my favorite ones that I've trained. But they kicked the snot out of him when he went down there because guess what? This strange dog went into their pasture.
Yep, they'd never seen this dog before, and all of a sudden there's a dog in their pasture.
We love your videos and your live streams. Thanks for all your knowledge and advice. You're awesome. Oh. And my daughters Alyssa and Hadley, Rhea, use your videos and advice daily. Awesome.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Now for our motivation to stay, our segment of motivation to stay motivated in the wintertime with these short days and cold weather. We were just at the Saddle Club Christmas exchange, and I didn't even know this existed. I don't have them yet, guys, but I'm putting it on my own Christmas list. So there's heated insoles. Oh my gosh. So I put the link for the heated insoles and for heated gloves. Daphne's mom, and she has her own playlist. I put the link for Daphne in there. She uses both of these, and she's the one that got the heated insoles at the Christmas party. So check those out. I'm definitely putting them on my Christmas list because I want to be able to stay down there at the barn for as long as possible. And the best way to help me be able to do that is to not have cold hands and feet.
Were they Bluetooth operated?
They connected to your phone somehow.
Yeah, I think they were like, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought people were talking about that you can control the temperature with your phone.
Yeah, that's what it, yeah, totally.
So they're Bluetooth heated socks.
Not socks, they're insoles that go into your
That's
boots.
right, yeah.
I never even knew there was such a thing. So I'm pretty excited to have that on my Christmas list.
Yep.
Now, if you guys are wanting more help with feet or under saddle stuff, we still have, 19 more days to go lives for our 50-day challenge.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So let us know any ideas that you guys have. Somebody had asked for what to feed. So we did that one yesterday. And we're happy to add anything you guys would like to see. We really appreciate you guys being here. We really are having fun doing this. With it being dark out, there's not like we're down at the barn right now.
Yeah, up at our elevation or this far, I mean, we're probably closer to the North Pole than most of you at home. It doesn't get light out till about 7:30 a.m. and it's black at 5 p.m. So we're really getting, I think the 21st of this month is the shortest day of the year.
We're almost to it, guys.
And after that day, the days start getting longer by about 2 minutes a day.
Right?
So even by the end of January, it starts getting not dark out till like 6:30. So we can, right now, if we're working outside, it gets cold every night. Even when it's warm out, it gets cold. We're talking like 7 degrees or 7 below. And it'll warm up to be good enough to do stuff outside at about noon. And then about 3 o'clock, the sun gets behind a mountain over there, and it gets cold real fast.
Well, that's right, yeah. The sun, it goes behind the mountain long before sunset. So it gets cold as soon as that sun goes
About
away.
an hour and a half before it gets dark out, it gets cold. So we have to deal with all these comforts. She's a bit of a freeze baby. I just really don't get cold much.
He doesn't.
I grew up ice fishing.
I went ice fishing when I was a kid too,
I
but
know,
my hands still get cold.
But you didn't play in the minnow bucket.
My dad would never allow that.
Yeah, I was wearing a diaper, digging around in ice water, catching minnows and getting yelled at for playing with the minnows and sticking my hand in ice hole. So I think I I developed extra blood vessels in my fingers. They just
I
take hold.
appreciate that he has warm hands all the time.
Yeah.
Now, I'm saving the very best winter motivation thing for the 50th day.
Really?
Yeah, I'm still getting it all planned out, but yeah, so you
It's
guys have
top
to keep
secret.
watching. It's top secret right now. Yeah.
Yours truly doesn't even know about it. So it's top secret stuff. Yeah.
So again, guys, thank you so much for being here. Let us know anything you would like to see in the Go Lives that are upcoming,
Yeah.
and we'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good one, guys. Good night.
Good night.